or the other trending news in our media space or in any media space in Nigeria. And it has to do with the Port Harcourt Refinery. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday briefly. However, the new angles to the conversation, and I like to explore those angles with you. But for those of you just tuning in, you're welcome. 8 or 9 minutes now gone past the hour of 5. I am Kalada Kurubatobo, and you're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. So yeah, let's go straight to the matter before us. And like I said already, it has to do with the Port Harcourt Refinery, for better emphasis, or, to be more specific, the old Port Harcourt Refinery with a capacity of 60,000 barrels per day. And, we saw videos, was it 2 days ago? Yeah. Where it showed that just maybe we are nearing completion of the Port Harcourt Refinery. Yesterday I tagged one of my big stories, test running the Port Harcourt Refinery. Yesterday the NNPCL put out a statement, and the summary of that statement is that the Port Harcourt Refinery has been mechanically completed. I don't understand what that means, but maybe I can try to explain it. It means that mechanically it's been done, but we'll still have to see it being run economically. We still would have to see it being run in various other, maybe there are other aspects that we would need to see come on stream as well for it to be able to run optimally or function optimally. However, why we are talking about it today is because there is the report that says that the refinery will start production immediately after the Christmas holiday. Yes, you heard me right. And that story is on the Nation newspaper, and this is coming from the government. I'm going to read a bit of the article, for clarity's sake. And it says the federal government yesterday reassured Nigerians that the production of petrol and liquefied natural gas (LNG) will resume at the Port Harcourt Refinery after Christmas break. It said the optimism is based on the mechanical completion and flash startup of phase 1 of the 210,000 barrels per day refinery by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPCL. Now, so you don't get confused, the first phase of the 210,000 barrels per day is the 60,000 that I've just mentioned, which is the old Port Harcourt Refinery. We've got the new that has got a capacity of 150 plus, 1,000 barrels per day capacity. And so when you put two of them together, it's a 210,000 barrels per day capacity here in Port Harcourt. Now, we saw the test run, like I said, we've seen the videos, but the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Ainekin Lokpobiri, and Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekperikpe Ekpo, NNPCL Group Chief Executive Officer Mele Kyari, NNPCL Board Chairman Pius Akinyelure, and Port Harcourt Refinery Managing Director Ibrahim Onoja made this known during a media tour of the refinery in Elime, River State. The tour coincided with the 15th Rehabilitation Steerco meeting. Now, Lokpobiri told reporters that with the phase 1 now ready, efforts would be geared towards the completion of the phase 2 of the facility in the last quarter of next year. So by December 2024, or the ending, or by this time next year, we should be seeing the new Port Harcourt Refinery, as it is called. For clarity's sake, we have to call one the old, and we have to call the other the new Port Harcourt Refinery. Oh my. He also went ahead to say that the one for Warri and then the one in Kaduna Okay, let me just read the statement. The mechanical part is completed, and this is the beginning of the completion of not just this Port Harcourt Refinery Phase 1 and 2, but the one for Warri and then the one in Kaduna, so that we will be able to benefit from this massive investment that the country has made. And for the better part of this week, and I mean for the better part of this month, I've been trying to ask the question: how will these benefit Nigeria? Maybe I should have asked the question: how will these benefit River State? Yes, it is a national refinery, but it is sited and situated in River State. How will it benefit River State in terms of the fact that if production really does start by the end of Christmas break, it means that there will be a lot of buying and selling in the refinery area. Monies will go round. It will impact and affect the GDP, the economy generally, and it will also impact the river's economy as well. But maybe I'm looking at it from too professional an angle. I'd like to get your thoughts on this. The reason why there is the high cost of living, they say, economists, people in the oil and gas sector, they say it is because the price of petrol went up when the president said that subsidy is gone, even though subsidy was not necessarily in the budget as at the time, according to reports as well. So I'm looking at it from the angle. I mean, what do we stand to gain from all of this? That's my first thought. My first thought process, or my first question: what do we stand to gain from all of this? Remember, Dangote's refinery is there. Yeah, he also received 1 million barrel crude oil today to refine, and he, like he promised, will also reel out products by the second week of January 2024. So we would now have petroleum products made in Nigeria. Some people say it's not yet time to celebrate. Governments have made promises. This could all be a show. This could all be a media thing where they tell Nigerians, oh, we've done it. Nigerians are happy, and yet there is no change in the economic situation of things. Now, it should be said that the 60,000 barrels per day may not be able to meet the needs, the consumption needs, the petroleum consumption needs of Nigeria. However, some argue that it will go, some good way or long way to solving the problem. There is yet again the Dangote refinery, and I hear Bua, who is a major competitor for Dangote, as his own refinery coming on stream as well, and that is what it's 200,000 barrels per day capacity. I cannot remember. Okay, I think I'm mixing it up. There is the modular refinery in Edo State that has also received. I mean, the two of them, they have received crude oil, and so they would also start refining, and they are also promising that by January we would begin to see products from there, not necessarily petrol, but they will bring out naphtha. Remember, we had the guest who told us naphtha is very instrumental to the production of petrol in Nigeria. So they'll be producing a lot of naphtha. They'll be focusing on diesel, and on there's another product they say they will focus on, LNG, I think. That's the liquefied natural gas. So it means that there is the possibility that the price of gas will also crash. Hopefully, there is the possibility that manufacturers will get diesel at a cheaper price. Hopefully, because now we have all of these refineries now competing against each other. The Port Harcourt Refinery, Bua's Refinery in Akwa Ibom, Edo State Modular Refineries, Dangote Refinery, and many other ones coming. I think there's another one in Bayelsa State. So I'm trying to paint a picture for you. Do you think that there is some kind of hope for the economy going into 2024, given all of these moves from both the government and the private sector? For those of you who have been very critical about Nigeria, and you have the idea that nothing will ever grow, nothing will ever work in Nigeria, will this change your mind if we have all of these refineries raining out products for the good of the people of Nigeria? Like I said, Dangote has just got another 1 million barrel of crude. Although two modular refineries are here owned by the state government also have received crude oil supply. I do not know of Boaz refinery, but I hear it's ready as well, or almost ready. And now we hear that by the end of Christmas holiday, it could be first week of January, it could be even the 30th of December, we would have petroleum products coming out from the Port Harcourt Refinery. What do you make of this news? What do you make of it? That's the second question, right? The first one is, if I remember vividly, how will this, in your opinion, from your own, I don't want to sound too professional, coming with all the data and statistics and all of that, from your own point of view, after listening to all the experts for the better part of 2023, how do you see these impacting not just Nigeria, but the river's economy? Right? And then the second question is, for as many of us who have been skeptical, we have a skepticism when it comes to government because of how governments operated over the years, right? When it comes to that point, or this point now that we're seeing the private sector, the public sector, all ensuring that oil and gas sector becomes vibrant, and which we want to believe will somehow impact the society or the economy now, would you still be critical, or would that change your mindset as to the trajectory Nigeria is traveling on? For those who have been, nothing can happen, that is good, nothing good can happen in Nigeria, will that change your mindset? Let's put it that way. And then there is the third angle to it. This is not the first time that there's been this kind of rehabilitation. Good Luck did it, but after a while the refineries crashed and the refineries died. We brought them back to life like Lazarus. But the question is, how do we, because we may want to blame the government for poor management, but there are also people who work in these refineries, all four of them or all three of them, depending on how you count it. There are people who work in these refineries who are responsible for these refineries, who can sometimes be lackadaisical in how they perform their duties, in how they go about their responsibilities at their workplace. And so there is also that argument. But how can we ensure? Because now we know 2023 was such a disruptive year for a lot of people, economically, I suppose. A lot of people lost businesses because they could not keep up with the economic situation. A lot of people will not celebrate Christmas like they used to because of the economic situation. We had inflation travel so fast this year. It's above 27%, right? We have all of these negative indices, and all because we could not get our refineries up and running, or partially because of that, partially. So now we know it is a very important asset. I'm talking the refineries now. How do we protect it? We're not in government. We are not part of the refinery workers. But is there any way we can protect our refineries so we don't go back to square one, where we enjoy for a bit and then the refineries are not working after a while? So, how do we... Because it looks like the pressure on the government is what really got us to this stage. The pressure on Buhari, the pressure on Tinubu. Maybe if we reduce the pressure, things might go back to the way they used to be. I'm just saying. But I think there's I've talked for so long. My goodness, I did not even know. I'm really sorry. But I've got a commercial break coming up. After the commercial break, I will open the phone lines and I will get your thoughts. I want to hear from you. I mean, the next 30 minutes will be entirely yours, and you tell me what you're thinking about the current situation that we have when we talk oil and gas in Nigeria. Okay, 25 minutes to the top of the hour. Yes, and we would use about 20 minutes to take your thoughts, your opinions on the issue I've raised. Remember, I spent my time, a good amount of the 5 o'clock hour, trying to explain to you what the conversation is about, and it's about the Harcourt Refinery and the government saying it will start at the end of the Christmas holiday, at the end of the Christmas break. And also saying that, of course, there are reports on Dangote receiving another million barrel crude oil supply. Also, there is the Edo 2 modular refineries, I think jointly having, is it a 200,000 capacity, also receiving crude oil supply. And, so it's going to be a year where there will possibly be massive refining of oil products. How will this impact I should have asked as well, how will this impact society in terms of the boys who partake in illegal refining? How will it impact their business and the environment? Because I hear they mess the environment up as well. So many talking points to this conversation. Enough of me talking. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. This is Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kaladako Rubatiba. Good afternoon to you. Welcome. Let's talk. 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. Good afternoon. Thank you for staying tuned, and I'd like to get your thoughts on this one. Mr. Kalada, on the refineries, whatever the federal government says about it is not true and should not be taken seriously until we see the result and the effect on the prices of petroleum products. Enough of their lies and deceits. Waiting person hold for hand, person no need mirror to take look am. Jarong. But Jarong, I'm asking the question, what if it works? And what if? I usually have what if a lot in my pockets, and I'm using it today. Is it Ken from Ubumini? Welcome. What is on your mind? Please tell me.
Good evening, Canada.
Welcome. What's on your mind?
Canada, I laugh in my language, Ubumini language. Canada, have this federal government tell the masses of this nation this story that they just brought up this time around. All the hope of Nigerians is that this month, Nigerians will celebrate with Harcourt Refinery being functional, that will make them feel free in the next month, celebrating the new year with the latest development of availability of fuel in this country. What are they telling us now again? Ken,
the report has always been the end of December 2023. That's always been the report. December 2023 ending. So we're still in December. The December is yet to end, and now they're saying after the Christmas break.
According to you, it is to
okay.
People are taking the last privilege for.
All right. Ken, thank you very much. I've got to go. You're disappointed. You say Daniel from Imo State. Welcome. What is on your mind? I would love to hear.
Good evening, my brother Canada.
Yeah, welcome, Daniel. Chinke Daniel. Welcome.
Yes, I think we are excited hearing this. And I want to tell every other Nigerian that our excitement will cut short if when they have started full production. Not like Dangote that was commissioned over 3 months ago, but we have not seen even a liter of beer. So we are saying let this one be real.
Okay.
And another thing is, as we are buying the fuel for about 700 naira now, if we will not buy less than 500 naira, I think it is it doesn't show any improvement or any gain that we are producing locally. So let them do this, and we want to see a turnaround. We want to see, as we expected, we want to see it a real change in the life of our people, life of Nigeria, because this field drives every other national economy, even the bigger ones.
All right.
So let us buy at the rate of anything less than 500.
Chinke Daniels, before you go, Dangote's refinery, you have been told, according to reports, that the reason why it could not kickstart at the time was because they did not supply him crude oil. Now he has been supplied. Just maybe, I'm emphasis on maybe, just maybe, we'll get to see products emanating from that refinery.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, well, I didn't quite hear you, but all I am saying is that the relief these people are going to give us is one for us to buy cheaper.
All right, buying cheaper.
Thank you very much.
You're all about buying cheaper. William from Rumu Kalagbo, I'm sorry I missed your call there. Ibiso from Odudi Road, welcome.
Yes, Canada, good evening.
Welcome.
The refinery matter again.
But I mean,
we are in this space there. I will not call the name of the governor. We are in this state where they want to commission gas turbine.
You have called the governor. You have called the governor already.
The gas turbine.
Okay.
What I'm saying, thank God they're showing us a picture and video of fire. Let them start the production. Let us see tanker loads and come out from the refinery. But you not come and do us, the more you do, just to see. This was just doing this thing, to say that, we say December, we are starting. Ibiso. Last month of the past president.
Wait now, Ibiso. What's wrong with my connection? Ibiso, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why we're talking about this is because the Minister for Petroleum Resources has come out to say that by the end of the Christmas break, that petroleum products will come from the Port Harcourt Refinery, and that's why we're talking about it. And I'm asking, I've asked several questions, but what are your thoughts on it?
Canada, no problem. The minister is doing his own work by protecting his own tank farm. We are waiting for that after the Xmas break, just after Tuesday. We are waiting.
When you say he has a tank farm, that's a serious allegation. I hope you know.
Pardon?
When you say he has a tank farm, that is a serious allegation.
When I say tank farm, he's protecting his ministry.
Oh, okay.
Tank farm. That's where he's shopping from now.
Okay.
That's where he's taking his salary. That is his tank farm.
Okay.
In our local palace, Nigeria is a tank farm.
I just learned that one now. I just learned that one. But
so I'm not laying allegation whether he has a tank farm. No.
Thank you, Biso.
That's his own tank farm where he's taking his salary.
Okay, I've got to go now. William from Rumu Kalagbo, welcome. What is on your mind?
Thank you. Good evening.
Yeah, greetings.
Mr. Kalada, have you considered the road first that the oil will be passed through before we talking about the refinery working?
The oil will be passing through pipes. Is it not through pipes?
I know. After it to pass through pipe, it will need vehicles to take them to the different filling station.
Okay.
If I'm correct.
Yeah, you are correct. I
expect us to be considering the road first before even talking about anything working about the refinery.
So
Thank you.
So you have a valid point there, but maybe they plan to use the ports, or maybe also by the end of January, maybe they would have fixed the roads. There are what do you call it now? They are setting remediation construction going on along that road. I've got Junior from Port Harcourt. Junior, welcome. What is on your mind? Tell me.
Thank you, Canada.
Yeah, welcome, Junior.
My name is Junior, and I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
I already know. Go ahead with your thoughts now. Let's hear your thoughts, please.
I think by what the federal government is telling us is really true, and by the first week of January or second week, the refinery will come up. I think it is a welcome development, but let it not be just a political statement. Because if we check what Nigerians are going through, we will see that most of the challenges falls on this petroleum product and not the rest. So I would really commend the federal government if they should keep to their words this time around.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So there are people who are skeptical about this as usual, but we're not focused on the skepticism right now. We're looking at it from about 3-4 fronts. First one is how it will impact River State. I mean, River State is housing the Port Harcourt Refinery. We're also looking at how it will, how it will look like for those of you who have believed all this while that nothing good can happen to Nigeria, that it's just going to go from bad to worse. Would it change your thought patterns or how you critically think about Nigeria? And there is the front of how we can protect this national asset in the sense that we may not be a part of government, we may not be working in the refinery, but how do we ensure that these refineries keep working? Because this is not the first time that the refinery has been rehabilitated. We've had it work and then collapsed and worked and then collapsed and then worked again. And so, I'm asking, what kind of pressure? Because pressure from the people is what has gotten us here. We pressured Buhari, we pressured Tinubu. Now they say that the refinery will work. They say when it and if it does work, how do we ensure that we don't go back to where we were before now, where the refineries were not working? All right, let's read some messages and then go back to the phone lines. He said, let nobody deceive you. They just lit up the flame for Nigerians to believe they are rehabilitating the refinery. Take me up on it by the end of March if a product comes out from that Port Harcourt refinery. It is truly a fluke. Now see from Port Harcourt. But yet again, what if it works? I'm saying anything can happen. Your theory may be right, but what if it works? And you see, and this is what someone said about the media, that every time they tune to a radio station, there's always something negative happening or something negative being talked about. Either the presenter is reading out something negative or the listeners are contributing something negative. And that's what I'm trying to figure out on the show. Can we, for once ever, maybe think positive, especially for many of us, including myself, who have been heavy critics of not just government but the development of Nigeria? Can we be positive? And that's a valid question, right? But this is good evening, Canada. Simeon from Port Harcourt. My brother, if Nigerian politicians tell you to run, my brother, just see food, because FG has been lying to Nigerians since 2015 till date. They are jokers, my brother. Nothing comes out okay. I come in peace. All right, I get your thoughts. This one says, good evening, presenter. Nigerians should not believe the federal government at all. It was in the same country that the federal government commissioned Nigeria Airways. Until we see it producing fuel, it remains a media stunt. Miracle from Rupoku. But it looks like nobody even wants to dare to answer my question. But what if it's not a media stunt, right? What if? That's the question. Influence from Port Harcourt says, I'm really surprised that many Nigerians actually do not want this country to work. The government announced that the rehabilitation of the Port Harcourt refinery will be completed by the end of December 2024. Many Nigerians said it is not true. Now the government has announced the completion of the refinery at the promised date, and most Nigerians are saying they are disappointed with the government. Most Nigerians are really bitter when there is good news and celebrated every instance of bad news. No country will progress with this kind of citizens, in my opinion. We are a special people indeed. Influence from Port Harcourt. Let's go back to the phone lines. Remember, they said mechanically complete 85%, which is very instrumental to the workability of the Port Harcourt refinery. 0817-923-0002, first call number, and 0817 08179230003. All right, let's hear your thoughts. I've got a commercial coming up, but I would have to listen to your thoughts first, and let's see. Remember, the open season, by the way, will also still happen immediately after the news. After the news at 6, and we'll still talk about all of these issues. So if you're listening right now, I'd like to get your thoughts. Remember that you can tell me what you're thinking. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. First question. How will this impact Rivers State, in your opinion? I want to get your layman opinion of how you feel it will impact Rivers State, you and I, of course. And then there is the second part of it. For those of us who have been critical with the government and with Nigeria's development or the pace of development, what do we say now if this works? And then there's the third part of it. And the third part of it is looking at all of the refineries out there that may work, the modular refineries in Edo, Dangote's refinery, the one in Akwa Ibom set to be in partnership with Boa Group, then the Port Harcourt Refinery. How are you related with all of these reports? How are you relating with them? All right, Robin is calling from HA. Robin, what is your thoughts concerning this issue?
Yeah, thank you. Right. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Naturally, it ought to be a thing of joy.
Okay.
To me and Nigerians.
Okay.
Well, because of the manner and ways the government of Nigeria have conducted these activities in the past. That is why most Nigerians, including me, tend to be pessimistic about the position. You can recall how many times his predecessor, he made this have promised Nigerians.
They shifted it just by 1 year. They shifted it just by 1 year. I mean, it was supposed to come on stream 2022, and they shifted it to 2023.
It will be okay by last year.
And that's 2022. I'm saying the same. They shifted it by 1 year. By 1 year.
Yes. So if the Minister of Petroleum for State Oil is telling us this, for me, I'm not excited. I'm not excited to the extent that I have not been happy with the leaders of this country.
Okay, Robin. Let's not continue with your narrative now. Let's pause. Now, what if it works? I understand you're not happy with the leadership. You've not been happy with the leadership. But what if it works?
And it works?
Yeah, what if?
I'm telling you, Kalaka, it's no longer a news to me. It's no longer in news. It's no longer in news. Because we have suffered.
Okay.
It's no longer in news. Let it work. When it works, then the excitement will increase. That's what I make you understand.
Okay.
That news is exciting, but because of the way they have conducted their activities, they're not fulfilling what they promise.
Okay.
So the excitement is not full. That's the point I'm trying to make.
All right. Thank you very much.
So let's see it work.
Okay, Robin.
But for me, I believe that it's going to work. But I never believed that it's not going to be this December.
Okay, Robin believes it's going to work, but he has a problem with the timeline that has been given by the government and its contractors. But we've got to go for a